Hello. It's your captain. How you doing? I see we got Lance in the stream there. Hey, Lance. Good to have you with us. So, if you hadn't seen us before, Ignacy has asked me to do this Neuroshima Hex thing, and I thought, man, that sounds awesome. So I've been streaming some Neuroshima Hex now for a little while. We've gone over each faction and trying to explain how they each work, and playing it on the app, and we'll be able to interact with that, make some decisions, talk about how those decisions are made, kind of go through that. One of the things that I find is that people say, well, Neuroshima Hex, I got that app. Hey, Neuroshima Hex, I got that app and I try to play it, and the darn thing is too hard. It kicks my butt. Well, I'm telling you right now, old Captain Link, every once in a while, I get a little butt kicking too, but most of the time I'm the one kicking the butt. Well, part of it might be the fact that I put it on easy, because if you're gonna do it easy, right? So that's it. So, hey Dutch, good to see you, man. All right, hello. All right, so today what we're going to look at is a very strange faction. It's called Dancer. And Dancer is available on the app. I'm surprised it's available on the app because it is so different. It must have been a challenge to get that program just right. It's an awful strange thing, but it's going to be really easy to do the breakdown because there's only a few tiles in the whole set. Now, normally you have 35 tiles, and a lot of them have variety. So you got ranged weapons and all this kind of stuff, and melee. You might have plus to initiative, and you might have some bombs, and all that kind of stuff. Dancer doesn't have a bunch of stuff. Mostly movement and battles and things like that. So the weird thing is, it's got multiple headquarters. Why don't we take a look at it, see what's going on with that thing? So, in Dancer, we got our multiple headquarters, like I said. We got blue, red, and yellow, right? And just to kind of give you an idea of the background of this, because I've been studying up a lot on Neuroshima Hex or Neuroshima RPG, doing a lot of translation of the Polish and reading about it and figuring things out. And basically the way that Dancer came about was the Outpost, who's basically the standing army for America. It's kind of like what's left over of the American military. They ended up actually doing a lot of hit and runs, guerrilla warfare, stuff like that against Moloch. And eventually they took over. They actually were successful at some of their attacks and stuff, and they took over some of the technology and started using some of that tech against Moloch itself. Well, as they were getting into that, they started doing experiments. So some of these experiments look a lot like the experiments Moloch might do. And in this case, they ended up, hey, hello from Poland. It's awesome. Good to have you here. And a lot of what they did was they ended up doing experiments as well. And Moloch ended up breaking into their laboratories, kind of disrupted the laboratories. And these three escaped. So it's the blue, red, and yellow. And they're called Codename Dancer. That's the name of the experiment, is called Codename Dancer. And they have the Object Blue, Object Red, and Object Yellow. So let's take a look at how these actually work and how they interact in the game. Object Blue, all of them have 10 toughness. So normally in Neuroshima you have one headquarters, and that headquarters has a toughness of 20. In this case, you have 3 of them, and they each have a toughness of 10. Right? Now, Object Blue has attacks, and you can see it attacks almost all sides there. except that one side actually gives a connection to someone else to allow them to do plus attack to their range. So obviously the only one here that has the range big time is going to be Object Red. Now yellow has one ranged attack, so we could boost yellow with blue to give her one more attack. So instead of a single attack or a single damage done with that attack, she would do 2. But it makes a lot of sense to give it to red, because then he's got 3s and 2s, and it'd be pretty awesome. And if red and blue are connected together, you look at red, he's got the same kind of pattern as blue, except that he's ranged. And so he's got 2 to the forward and 2 to each side, 1 to either side forward. And but he gives an advantage to blue and actually boosts his melee attack. So putting blue maybe next to the guy's headquarters and having red, it's trying to figure out how to make those synergies happen. And then you got yellow, which has got nets, right? And it also gives +1 to either person, to either side of them. So +1 to the initiative in that rear section. That's +1 to initiative to either of the 2 of them. They also have a special ability, which is to heal. So they can do a heal, but it requires that special one. It requires a few things. So it's a module. It increases. So for the healing, it's a module, and you have to actually have a activation for that. So we need to talk about activations for all of these things, because the unique thing is that kind of like the Iron Gang, they don't actually have to go off during battle. They can sort of take pot shots along the way. And the way that they do that is they use the action tile. So they have this action tile, and there's 7 of them, right? So that makes a total. So we got 3 headquarters and these 7 action tiles. That's 10, right? So we've only got 25 more tiles left. These action tiles, using these tiles will allow Dancer to use 1 edge. So thinking about Dancer, any of the dancers, you can use one of the edges. So it's important to note that that doesn't mean that red goes off. It's only one of those. So you can use one of the double attacks or one of the single attacks on red, right? Now, obviously the net is static and always being used with yellow, but you can have that healing actually take place, right? So that's where you would activate the healing, is using that action tile right there. So that's how that action works. So during the game, we're going to have 7 of those where we get to take pot shots without them getting to do anything to us. So that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. There's some interactions that are kind of strange with some of the other armies. We're not really going to get into a lot of that. Just note that those things are, they're written about in here. And there's some things that can be a little strange. But, interactions between armies can get like that. What happens if I have a net that's being powered, like if in Uranopolis, if I have a net that's being powered and you net my power supply, but I'm netting you with my powered netter, then which one goes off, right? So you get those dilemmas where it's like, Now, what's the likelihood of something like that happening? I don't know, but it does create that havoc. So we got 7 of these. Now let's look at the only other tiles we have, right? These. We have 10 moves. We have 8 battles, and we have 7 pushes. That's a lot. So that right there is the rest of our tiles, and that's all we have. So we have our 3 people who do damage. We can actually activate them without using a battle, but we have 8 battle tokens. We have 7 pushes, and we have 10 moves. Now let me tell you something that's completely strange. They do a thing called the dance. It's probably easier to show you when it happens than to try to explain it, but I'll try to explain it anyway. Basically, you can change places with any of these wherever they are on the board. So if they are spread out, you can say, I'm going to take this one and swap it with that one. I'll take this one and swap it with that one. And then you can change the facings of them so they get to dance. Now, in order to do that, you have to give up the rest of your turn. You don't get to place tiles, right? So you actually have to give up your turn. So you'll draw your tiles and then decide, do I want to do these tiles or do I want to do the dance? Now, when you do the dance, nothing actually gets activated. You're just repositioning everything. So it's like playing 3 moves, except that there's a weird castle that can take place as well, even though they're not adjacent to one another. So that's pretty cool, and maybe an option that we use from time to time. The reason that you would try to use that option for sure is because if you got one guy who's getting hammered, you may want to take him out of that situation, because if he's getting beat up, you don't want to lose one of your headquarters, right? So to that end, there was one other thing I wanted to share with you besides this. I have that up right here. So here, let me hit the share on this. So probably increase it, but basically it says Dancer has only 3 board tiles which serve simultaneously as headquarters. Each Dancer only has 10. The player commanding the Dancer is always the starting player, right? So now we've talked about that before. It's like there was somebody that we said always went last, and it was important that they went last. Might have been Mississippi. Anyway, boy, all these things are running together. I'm doing so many of these. Anyway, but it's important to notice these small rules like that. It makes a difference. Now, the app may not notice that. It does say that damage absorbed by each object counts separately. Each object has its own damage token. So on the thing, they do each one separately. If toughness points of an object reduced to 0, the object is destroyed and Dancer loses the game. So we can't lose one of them. Hey, Vader. Good to see you, man. Beaner. 1, 2, 3, 4. How's it going? So it's important that we remember that. So each of them have 10, so that seems like 30 points, so that seems great, but you can't lose 10 on any one of them. So that's why, again, like I said, you might want to use the dance to get somebody out of harm's way. Remember that there's times when somebody might be able to reduce our damage by 4 or 5, or have a bunch of stuff aimed at one spot. So we can pull that guy up out of there just so that they don't die, right? So that's something to think about. All right, so that's basically what I wanted to share with you about Dancer. I think we just need to play. Let's go play Dancer. Hey, Merrick. It's good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. I'm glad you jumped on the stream. Get a little Neuroshima there. All right. So, go and play Dancer. Let's get this thing set up. This, by the way, is the app that's available in all the stores, you know, for your phone. I'm using a program called Visor that allows me to push it out to my computer so that I can show you what's going on. Yeah, Dancer is pretty cool. I really don't mind Dancer. You gotta spend some time messing with it. You can lose control pretty quick though. I think it's kind of like Smart in a way. But I tell you, I think we're going to talk about what I think is one of the most vulnerable ones during the 15-minute stretch. We're going to look at Uranopolis, so stick around for that. Oh yeah, maybe it isn't doing that. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I'll tell you what I'll do though, just to help out. I can always read what I'm talking about. So we got a guy here, Dalney. Sure, Dalney. Is this boot reposting messages between all platforms broken? It's odd to hear an answer to a question that wasn't asked, right? So yeah, we got a lot of people on a lot of different platforms. We got Facebook, we got Periscope, we got Twitch, we got YouTube. So we're all over the place right now. And I don't know exactly how things are going to work out, but you know, here we are. I will try my best to keep y'all informed. Dutch Yoda says, works on Twitch side, says Dutch Yoda. I like the Twitch side. By the way, make sure you follow me. You know, follow, subscribe, get it done. Spencer from YouTube is saying, Dancer takes some getting used to. I struggle to do well with them. Hopefully the captain rocks it. I don't know if I'm going to rock it or not. I've had some good success with them. But like I said, sometimes it's that luck of the draw kind of thing. Sometimes it can just, I don't know, just get away from you. And you just know, oh, this is not a good game, right? So anyway, let's get on that. Let's get on it. Play. Lord Vader says from YouTube, works on YouTube too. So maybe it's just Facebook. Let's see. We're going to play a custom game. There's Dancer right there. And we're all set up and ready to go. And as our normal one, we're going to play against Moloch. I like playing against just the evil Moloch all the time, so that way we get a really good comparison between each faction, and see how they react to Moloch. Now, again, it might be one of those things that we can sort of explore, is to like, what's the best faction against this other one? What's, you know, so the interaction is there. And I'm going to say this too, I can't repeat it enough. I play this 2-player all the time, but look, you can have 4 people on this app, right? And this is not a 2-player game. A lot of people think it's a 4-player game. Vader, I ain't going to forget it's the bomb. There's a bomb. Moloch's got a bomb. We know that. But now here's the thing. The bomb doesn't hurt headquarters. And all we have is 3 headquarters. So there's that. So that's a benefit to us. He's likely just to throw the bomb away on Vader. I don't think it's going to help him a whole lot today. But let's see what happens, all right? All right, so as I was saying, Moloch, we got him set up, ready to go. We got him set on easy, because if you're going to do it easy. Here we go. Okay, 35 ways to kill the Moloch. Actually, we only got like 3 ways to kill the Moloch. Anyway. All right, so now we actually place all 3 of them. Strange, right? We always go first and then we place these. And so we don't know where he's going to be. So it's probably best to put him in the middle. We just take one of these guys. We're going to say it's a ranged guy. Now, see, we could put the ranged guy back here and shoot different places. but it reduces the amount of 2s that we can get. And it's likely he put something over here. So maybe we put him maybe like that. And then, yeah, it's really hard to figure out what, see, we can only put one of them in the middle, right? We can only put one in the middle. And it's possible we can keep them spread out. But I think I like to start with them clumped up. And I like to try to keep them together. Eventually, almost always, they end up getting spread apart, which is fine. Because Moloch's got some pushes and stuff like that. And that's going to happen to us. So just be prepared. We're going to do that one. And then I think we're going to do the mutual boost. This just makes this right here a fighting machine, right? Now, which way do we want to protect? I think we want to protect our side here. I think I'm going to take this one. You know, this is all guesswork. You know, Moloch's going to go someplace else, do something else. I think we'll go this way. Actually, maybe that way. So that way the melee guy we can heal him, maybe. I don't know. Sounds good to me. What do y'all think? Looks all right. Let's see what happens. All a guess. Here we go. All right. So right now we've got one attack on him, and that is it. Now, because he's attached to this one, it ends up being 2 attacks. So if I had a battle right now, we'd snap it. We'd snap it because we do 2 damage. And remember, headquarters can't do damage to headquarters. And even though these don't necessarily look like headquarters, they are. All right, so that headquarters can't do any damage to me. Now I got movement. Feel like we should move this one over here. Let me show you. We do this, move this guy here, and we still rotate them. So this guy gets the plus. This one will do 2. This one will do 2. It seems all right to me. It's something to do with the movement. Cool. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, here comes the double net. Uh-oh. And the bomb. Huh, how about that? The bomb actually does damage to our headquarters, says the app. Don't know if that's true or not. Maybe it's only the... That makes me wonder. Where's the bomb at? Let me look real quick. Makes me want... Oops, sorry. Here's the bomb. It says inflicts 1 wound on target hex and all spaces adjacent. Can't attack edge hex. Does not affect HQs. Does not affect HQs. I think the app got it wrong. Maybe. Don't know. Have to look up some more stuff to see. The app says it does damage on headquarters. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? Let's take a second here, because this is really the most important thing. This is the thing that we really need to get done. I mean, I like watching me win, but like we need to figure these things out. So let's take a second. Let me go back to the share and let's take a look at Dancer real quick here. And it says here, 3 board tiles which serve simultaneously as Army's HQ units and modules. These tiles are called objects, blah, 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 blah. Try to find out the opposing player replaces their HQ with the rest of the answer draws one tile from the pile and uses it. Okay. What do we got here? Hey, Cap just got both expansion bundles from Portal Inn yesterday. Looking forward to these boot camps. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's Superboard Sunday, who's writing us from Twitch. They're objects, not... Oh! I remember reading that. Dutch, you're right. They are objects. They're objects, not... man. Yep. Tactical advice. Dancers show their strength. Offense. It's good to place 3 object tiles in the middle of the board so that the distance is regardless. Yep. And it's... I don't think it really says specifically about bombs or anything like that. An enemy HQ. But I think you're right. I remember reading about there being objects rather than considered HQs for most of this stuff. So I think that maybe the app is right. Let's pretend like the app is right, shall we? Right. They're labeled as objects, but I just thought that was hyperbolic. You know, sort of the object of the experiment. They had 3 objects for the experiment. I think it's kind of like subjects or something like that. But dancer object inflicts damage to other HQs and receives damage from opponents' HQs. So it receives damage from HQs too. Wow, Dutch. Yeah. Release works also in using the move tile. An enemy HQ may also set free from dancer net. Leave 1 wound. Such. Okay. So yeah, that's us dancing right there. Yeah, there's a lot of strangeness. So I didn't talk about that, but there is a let's just go back to the game. There is a strangeness when one of our guys gets netted, which we're at right now. We're at 31 tiles. So this one's netted. So if we dance and actually move this one out of here, it will actually take 1 damage. So right now we've got a thing that allows us to do an attack. So, and we got to move and we got to push. Now this one can't push because it's netted and there's nowhere to push that guy to anyway. We can attack here, but that's only 1 attack. We actually might want to dance, because we could aim this guy. Well, I don't like this, our biggest attacker being netted. I hate that. So we could dance or we could move, but we can't move this one guy. Now I say that, let me check the app because these things are weird. So no, it only allows me to highlight either one of those 2. I can't. Oh, no, it's saying I can. So if I do this, I probably take a damage, right? Right. So I would take a damage. All right. So it's saying that I'm allowed to move outside of nets by dancing or doing a movement. So that's important to know. That's really important. So I can get away from that net. That's interesting. Well, I think we should take 1 damage and give 1 damage is what I think. But think we can get rid of that push. It's not really going to do us any good. We got a movement. We can change this to do 2 damage to them and activate it. Just do 2 damage. But we really need to get out from underneath that net. What I'd like to do is be able to dance to where this one is up here and aiming at Moloch. Moloch's not got that much movement. We've got a ton of movement. Oh, here's some. What else you got, Dutch? Dutch says instant action tiles or effects that do not inflict wounds to HQs, but also only to soldiers and modules. Inflict 1 wound to the dancer object on which they have been used. It's in the rules. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to do a movement. And we're going to move this guy out of there. Don't know that it really matters which way he faces right now. Oh, yeah, it does. Because I can give a +1 to this guy. Give him a +1 attack. I'm down 4 points. Just so you know, I'm down 4 points. Now I'm going to try to make things evened up a little bit. I can take this guy and attack here, and he'll get that plus there, so that'll be 2. 15. There we go. All right. He throws away a battle. He's got a push. Uh-oh. He puts a blocker down. We don't care about that. Oh, dadgummit. We got a move and an attack. We can definitely move this guy here. Seems pretty good. I'm going to get rid of one of these. This will be the second one of those that we're getting rid of. And we will put... Oh, we're not going to do that one. We're going to do... Whoops. Think of it. We're going to do this. And this guy here. Be nice to be able to line them up like that, but we want to do more damage. So I want this guy to move down here if I can. So we're going to keep that like that and hopefully be able to heal this one at some point, which really, if we wanted to, we could heal right now. So it's just a matter of, do we want to do 2 damage to him while we can, or do we want to heal 2? And you guys probably have been watching me long enough to know I would rather, I think the best defense is a strong offense, and I would rather whittle him down and get him to 16 than for us to worry about those 2 points right now. So strike while the iron is hot, I say. So we're going to do this one. So you have to pick between them because it's only one side. So we could shoot the net, but we don't need to. We're going to shoot this guy. Bam. Bam, bam. And he's got 16 points. There you go. So also on this, we're using the, I think they call it the high definition one or something like that. Anyway, it's a little bit different layout than the normal one. And you end up with this pull out drawer and stuff, and you can look. So you can see how many, we're at 26 and he's at 16. So we've lost 4 and he's lost 4. So in that way we're even, but we got to make sure that we don't let this 8 get away from us. Okay. He's getting rid of a boost. He's got a push. He pushes again. Dadgummit. And that's the problem with Moloch, is he's got those pushes. Now this is a Gauss cannon, which means that anybody that we put in this row is going to get hit by that guy. I don't like that. I don't like that. Well, obviously we got to get rid of a battle. Best quote from Space Jam. I never played defense. All right, I'm going to get rid of this battle because that ain't going to help us. we're going to do a movement. Or we could dance. Let's think about this. Now, if we dance, we get rid of all those. We could rearrange this to where we got 3 damage going to him. And we still can have the healing. So here's how this would go. We decide to dance instead. We take this guy and we switch him with this guy. Now we got 2 coming here. We're enabling this guy to have better attack. This one's going to also enable us. So we got 3 damage going to him. Then I think we take this one and we turn her. Now we can turn her to where she gets us more. She can get us healing. Or we can get a plus to our initiative to where this guy goes off on a 3. But I don't know that that's important. This one shot here is not going to help us any, and it won't help us no matter any way we turn it. It's not going to help us much. So I'm of the mind that we go this way and call it done. Bam. And gets rid of another bonus. Drops in an attack, drops in another attack. Now, for whatever reason, Moloch almost never uses this one as a bomb. If this one can be detonated on their turn, and basically it'll take out it and every adjacent unit to it. Well, it does 1 damage to every adjacent unit to it. But Moloch on easy just likes to use this clown as an attack. So right now we got a single attack here and a single attack there. And we've got 3 attack on Moloch. So it's 2 to 3. I'm liking those odds. Now we got to push, but we can't push anybody. Oh, I said 2 to 3. This guy's going to hit us too. It's 3 to 3. Oh, he can't attack. He put him right in the freaking net. So it's 2 to 3. The push isn't going to do us any good. I think I want to hold on to it though. I hate holding on to things like that, but that's all we have really is just actions. So, and a push is good if they put somebody next to us. Although all of this back here, if they put anybody back here, that does not help us at all. If they put somebody here, we can push them here. If they put some, you know what? I'm not even going to hold on to the push. I'm not. I'm going to get rid of a battle. I'm going to get rid of this push, and I'm going to play a battle. Oh, did he do 2 damage? How did he do 2? Oh, he's got the bonus. I didn't even see. I forgot about the Moloch's bonus. The Moloch has a bonus where if you have a ranged attached to him, he gets double damage. So that didn't really help us. We ended up being in the same place, right? So 23-13. And now this one's going to have double damage on us. Yeah. All right, she needs to move. That's what she needs to do. Yeah, we gotta get rid of her. We gotta move her out of the way. So, unfortunately, we can only move her 1 spot. Now, we could do the dance and put somebody else in harm's way, but I'm thinking we do this, we don't battle, because we're still, well, I don't know. Let's look. If I put this one here, do we want to heal? Keeps the bomb from going off too. Man, I just never use heal. Okay. Right now, if we were to attack, we would get 2 points of damage on yellow, which is not doing well. And we would only do damage to this guy. No, this guy would take him out, and then this one would shoot and do 3 damage to the base. So we get 2 damage and he get 3. Woo! Think. We're going to go with that. I'm going to get 1 shot on him too. I don't know, guys. So this is still blocked up. This guy's going to shoot this way and this way. Does no good. This guy's going to shoot that way. Does no good. This guy is going to attack anybody nearby. Won't do any good. This guy here is going to shoot this way. Oh, look at this. Moloch's got a medic attached to that. We're not going to do any damage to him. We'll get rid of the medic. We'll get rid of the medic. Man, she's down to 6. I don't think we can attack with her. I don't think we can attack with her. I think we're going to have to get rid of this bird. We're going to have to get rid of that too. Yeah, Eric. Yeah, they got that medic down there. So the only thing that we would do is we get 1 damage on the person that's already down to 6, which I don't like. And they would lose the medic. I don't like it. So we'll ditch this. We'll go on with life. See if we can live some more. Gets rid of another medic. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Still, look at gunning for yellow. Just gunning for yellow. Okay, I gotta push that, clear this lane. So this one will move out of the way. If I push here, it has to move there. And then I could execute this to do 2 damage. Ugh, that's 4 damage coming to us. Man, I feel like maybe we should heal, but heal 2 or yeah, it got crowded. Yep, trying to figure it out. So basically we've got these 2 shooting up and they are attached to this, which gives them 4. If I take advantage of this activating one side, I'll shoot him. I'll push this out of the way, shoot him, but he'll get rid of the medic. Think of it. We need a cleaner shot than that. And this guy needs to heal. I don't know that I want to push him. How are we going to do this? Oh, we need to clean the board up. He doesn't have a bomb. Anybody got any ideas? Push here, shoot there, get rid of the medic. And hope that they don't get us. We're not going to battle. That's for sure. We could dance. We put her 6 over here and this one over there. it'd be okay. Not great. As soon as he gets a battle, that's going to go. All right, I'm going to try my best because I think we got movement coming. So you got to remember we got movement. Man, I hate trying to think, oh yeah, but I'll get something in the draw. Oh, that's the worst. Okay, here we go. We're going to do this. We're going to push this one here. And we can activate her and get 2. But I'm going to do something dangerous. I'm going to get rid of that medic. I'm going to get rid of the medic. Let's get rid of a battle. Oh, dadgummit, Eric. I'm sorry I didn't see yours in time. So you're saying to trigger yellow's attack and then push with blue. Blue wouldn't have been able to push. You'd have to push with red in the middle as red. This one here was there. If you push with him, it doesn't push him anywhere because it's already crowded. So pushes, when you push someone, they have to be one. There has to be a hex space between you and them whenever you push. So at this point, like, you couldn't push, blue couldn't push anyone here because they can't move alongside of you. There's another faction that allows you to actually bring people to you. Yeah, there's another faction that if they're one space away, you can actually pull them to you. That's a thing, but there's nothing that makes them go up alongside of you. So there's that. All right, let me stop here. I hate this because, like, I've got some ideas of what to do here, but let's stop here for a minute. Now, we can do a couple of things. Yellow or red, either one of them could have knocked out this 3 right here. Oh, and then if you pushed with blue, it would go up here. Yeah, we're still going to get 4 shots, though. This one, yeah, that's one more. I'm hoping that... I just really felt like I needed to take out the medic, but now we got another guy facing us. It's really... Eric, you're probably right. You're probably right. But let's talk about something completely different, shall we? Let's do the 15 tile stretch. So, Uranopolis. I know you are, but what am I? Yeah, Eric, it's still pretty ugly. Ooh. Anyway, I wanted to talk about Uranopolis. Uranopolis is a faction that we don't actually have on the app. Now, you guys know that there's been some talk about a new app coming out for Neuroshima. And I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to see graphics and all those kind of things. It sounds like it may be really cool. When I asked about it, they said that maybe the end of the year, possibly the beginning of next. Ignacy is more of a pessimist. He probably said, well, maybe before the end of next year. So anyway, that will be coming. And then we'll be able to play all kinds of stuff. It'll be awesome. We also, by the way, are loaded up on. We've loaded some basics on what's that one called? On Tabletopia. So we're loaded up on Tabletopia as well, and so you can play some stuff there. But the problem with that is you have to get somebody else, and so I kind of like having these apps and play the app as sort of practice and get better at doing those things. But Uranopolis is one of those ones that we don't really have access to. Or right now, you can get it for pretty cheap. They've got these packs and whatnot. I think individually it might only be like $8 or $10. So for a faction, so that's pretty cool. And Uranopolis has this, the headquarters, and this is kind of the weirdest thing. By the way, Uranopolis is your old uranium mine, and of course they're using the uranium to create energy and also bombs. So it's a powerful mineral resource, especially when you're constantly fighting a war in a place that you don't have good access to power and things like that. So that's what they're using Uranopolis for. So they have an old mine, and they've actually sort of done almost like dwarves or something like that, where they've created all this mechanical stuff and whatnot that's all powered, has this uranium power, and they're down there fortified and keeping other people out, living that way. I imagine if Moloch found out about them, they would just gas the heck out of them and whatever. So I have no idea. I haven't read anything in particular about them getting into any scraps with Moloch, but might be one of those things where they think they're really good and defensive, and it may just be just where they're going to get buried, instead. So anyway. And if Moloch finds out that there's a bunch of energy there, I'm sure they'll want to take it. So there's that as well. So if you look here, the HQ is a normal HQ, can attack in every direction. It's got an initiative of 0, but it provides power to all adjacent friendly units. Power, you say? Yes, power. So that blue thing is power. It's like a socket, right? So if we look at the... see what we got here. Dutch Yoda says Uranopolis is like Zion from the Matrix, only nuclear. Yep. For fun facts, Uranopolis Army is designed by fan, and it was inspired by fan created fiction set in the world of Neuroshima. So double fan power. Awesome. I imagine it's someplace in my thought is somewhere along the border of like Utah and Nevada, southern Utah, Nevada, that area in there. There's a lot of uranium mines and things like that in that area. Coke JB, who's Moloch? What's the demon that the rich sacrifice kids to? Right? Yeah, right. So that is what the original Moloch is. That I don't know that I have heard why that name came about. Ignacy would probably be able to tell us. But a lot of the naming conventions, from what I understand, is, Michael would say something like, hey, isn't Moloch cool? That would be cool. And Ignacy's like, sure. And so that's how it became, I think that's how they explained Neuroshima. Why is Neuroshima? Just because there's a rock song with Neuroshima, and it's probably Neuroshima Mon Amour, but I guess is the heavy metal rock song that Michael really liked, and so he thought Neuroshima was cool and used that. Yeah. So yeah. Some of the images of the Moloch god, or the metal god, is him with his arms stretched out like this and a big furnace in his belly where they're throwing kids. Wonderful. In this case, Moloch is AI. So anyway, what I was going to say about... I love all that stuff though, man. I do. I absolutely love all that stuff. I love talking about all that stuff. But let's look right here. So we got a mechanic. This mechanic actually provides power, but it provides power in 2 directions. So now we're getting very specific. Where the headquarters, you can provide power all the way around. much like with the trugs, they say, hey, put the headquarters in the middle so you can provide power. The bad thing is that power supplies and things can get netted and keep you from providing power. So that's bad. And here's an electro net. And if you look, this one is mobile, by the way. The medic is mobile as well. So that's cool. So she can move around and help to provide power for people. So if she gets pushed, she can move back and all those kind of things. But the electro net, it's a net, and it's a static net that'll net things both directions. It doesn't have an attack, but it needs power. Doesn't matter where the power comes from, but it needs power attached to it for it to work. Which is where I was coming up with that scenario. Like, what if you net the power supply that's netting my net, which puts you in front of my net? Right? So you could see where like this chain of 3 could be made, and who wins what. Right? So I think that actually the electronet would not work because like where we do net versus net, they cancel. I guess the nets hit each other, so they cancel. But in this case, a net is hitting a power supply that provides the power to make the other net work. So if they net the power supply for the nets for the electronet doesn't work. So you can't net a netter who's netting your power supply. Anyway, bulldozer. Bulldozer's got toughness. It's also got push. Makes sense. It's a bulldozer. And this is one of the things that Uranopolis is doing, is creating these large machines and stuff like that. That's what they like to do. But again, it needs power. And this is Inferno. It has toughness, but it needs power. And it's got a double strike. So this is a double strike. This is a double strike. This has got toughness, but this has got toughness and a push. So that's that. And then if you look at the second group, we've got more people with power. So the only person that doesn't have power is this mercenary. We've only got one of them. He strikes on a 3 and does a single melee attack. So it's almost like he's almost a throwaway, right? So the guard ends up with 2 attacks but requires power. This one is unique. So the drill actually attacks on 3 phases. It attacks on a 3, a 2, and a 1. It's got 2 shields and has 1 attack. So it could do 3 damage right there. This one here, if you look, this is a slightly different than a shield here, and it's got these 3. And if you look, Ravager requires power supply for a special attack, which is demolition. Inflicts 1 wound on each unit, both friendly and enemy, including the headquarters, placed on the 2 adjacent fields in the direction of the attack, as well as a 3rd one adjacent to both of them. So it's this configuration. So it'll be this person here gets attacked, this person here gets attacked, and the one between them. So all 3 of those get 1 wound from this guy. Right? And so that's the special attack right there. And then Hammerhead, which you only have 1 of these. All of these are just 1s. And Hammerhead, you got toughness, and it needs power, and it goes off at a 0 to 1 and just does double damage. So I find that there's a lot of diversity. It's interesting because they all have toughness. A lot of them have toughness, but there's not a lot of great numbers except for Inferno. There's actually 4 of those. So I imagine that's a pretty strong unit to use. And then you have all the mods, which the mods don't only just do modifications. A lot of them also, hey, thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate you subscribing. Acceleration generator ends up being a +1 to the initiative. It also gives you power. This one, this combat generator, it not only makes ranged weapons stronger, provides power, but it also has a toughness itself. You get 1 medic and you get 1 doubler. So this doubler again, it just makes it to where whatever phase you are normally going to go, you go to the phase afterward. Now, if you're phase 0 and you put a doubler on you, the next phase would be -1, and there is no -1 phase, so the doubler wouldn't work. So that's that one. And then this is pretty cool. So waste has got toughness, but it also has enemy tiles, including headquarters, that are connected to waste receive 1 additional wound for each attack or any other source of wounds affecting all connected enemies. So everybody who's connected to that, if they get any wounds, waste will make it worse. By the way, this includes things like poison. So if you're doing a multiplayer game and someone gets poisoned, you put waste next to them, including the HQ, and that'll do a lot of damage to them every time a battle comes out. You have a gauze transformer, which turns a regular attack into one that attacks everybody down that row, so, which is pretty cool. And then you have the transporter, which actually provides movement. So you can turn him, you can't move him, but you can turn him to provide movement to somebody. So there's a caveat about this where you can't move the same unit. It'd be kind of tough to do in the same turn. I guess you could move somebody and then use a movement on the transporter to move them again, and you're not allowed to do that. So it can only transport the one of the same unit each turn. Anyway, so that's that. Those are the mods. The only other thing we have is actions, and all of them are normal. We have a normal move. We have a normal battle. There's only 4 of them, so it's a limited battle. And push, we've only got 3 of those. And then the thing that we have here is Ray. Now Ray is crazy because Ray actually takes out a whole line. Pick a line, any line, and everybody gets zapped. Gets 1 wound in that line, friendly or enemy. So that's pretty cool. That would help with our situation right now, which we got to get back to. Here we go. All right, let's see if we can finish this up in a good way. Got a few things going on. We can reduce attacks. This is a double attack on our base here. Ooh, we got to push. This is 4 attacks here, 2 attacks there. Good night. We got to get this one out of there. I think that's the best thing we can do. We're not going to dance. Dancing isn't going to help us at this point. I don't know that push is going to help us either. So I'm going to get rid of the push. I'm going to use movement. I'm going to get her the heck out of there. Now, where is she going to go? I think that makes a lot of sense, because I can always heal her. My understanding is I can heal her, hopefully. All right. And I could do that now, but man, I really want to attack. So that's what I'll do. I'm going to attack. 3 more damage. All right. It's going to work. We're going to get through it. All right. Well, that one at least doesn't get any pluses. Woo! A lot going on there. We got movements and pushes. Ugh. Push doesn't help us. Boy, Moloch is just taking over half the board. Taking over half of it. I don't know what to do. We got some movement. We don't want to be in this line. That's really bad. I can move her over, but then she's going to get attacked there. This one is only going to attack here. It's going to do 2 damage there. This one's going to do a damage there, and this one's going to do a damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Movement. What are we going to do with that? 5. All right. I'm going to move this here, net that one. This 2 will clear this one will shoot. So that's pretty good. Do I need a push? Push doesn't help me. So, do a movement here. Move her there. Yep. That's my movement. Push doesn't help. And the movement, another movement. Doesn't help. And I don't want to hold on to it. All right, here we go. Come on now. We're almost done. Gets rid of that. He's got a push. Of course, thanks so much. A gummit. 7 tiles left. 7 tiles left. This one's going to do 1 damage to all 3 of my bases. Daggum. We can limit that somewhat. All right, we get rid of a push. We take a movement. We move this guy here. And then we push from here, that guy, which nets him. That's pretty good. Not great. It's just pretty good. Gets rid of a battle, has a movement, aiming at this guy. Alrighty. Alright, now we get some attacks. Unfortunately, we can't get his base. What we can do, though, is... Oh, we can only do the heal once. We can only do the heal once. Alright. So I'm going to do a heal. I'm going to heal the one that's the lowest. And then we can't do a second heal. You can only activate one side once per round. This one's facing the wrong way, but I can kill this one, which keeps us from getting 1 damage. They got it to where we can't activate the same. We can activate the same HQ. I'm pretty sure of that. That's bogus. Well then, I will wait. Thank goodness Moloch is stupid on easy. Okay, we got a battle. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to heal. We're going to heal again, because this is how we win. Boom. And now we're healed. Yep, we're going to heal that one. That'll bring her back up to 10. And we can't play a battle because it's the final turn. So we're done. Moloch gets to do some stuff. Places that. We get a final battle. 3. Boom. 2. All that. Yep, unfortunately. Oh no, that was the battle, and then we get a final battle because he placed that last piece. Holy cow. Alright. That's not good. Oh no. Man, we were so close. Man, we were so close. What? I still won? Oh, 16. Holy cow. How about that? We didn't lose anybody. That healing, I got 4 points at the end. I still, if I wouldn't have healed, I would have had... We wouldn't have had another battle because he wouldn't have filled everything up. And I would have had 12. Thanks, Vader. I would have had 12. But then we wouldn't have had that second battle. So, I don't know. Yeah. Got a lot more damage. A lot more damage. Still won. It's pretty cool. I don't know. Thanks, Eric. So anyway, there's Dancer. That's a good look at it anyway. So, you know, those things are available on the website and whatnot. So, I mean, if you guys are interested in it, I like Dancer. It's unique, right? It's unique. All of these things for me, that's what's cool about it, is that you play, right, very interesting faction. It's one of those deals where like you play one faction against another and you go, wow, that was really cool. And like somebody goes, man, I really like Vegas. I'm kicking everybody's butt with Vegas. Then you throw something at them like Dancer, something like that. And the interactions are so different that, you know, maybe you can catch them unaware and maybe you learn something from those factions as well. So I really like those ideas. Just before we go, I just wanted to share with you this. I was looking on the website and I noticed that, where is it? There's a lot of pre-orders. Golem is on pre-order now, so we can get Golem on pre-order. We can't get Trogs yet, so I'm still looking for Trogs to be there on pre-order. But and you'll notice like Neuroshima, Uranopolis, and things like that, they're all at $10. But I think, was it Eric, you said that you had gotten a pack? I think that's in the sales promotion, or I think if you go to the Neuroshima bit, they have in the bottom. I'm terrible at this website. I'm just terrible at it. There's usually a pack. I don't know where it is. Just write Luke. Just go to contact us and say, hey, what about those darn packs where we can get the awesome promotional pack? See if we can find it in here. Nope. No. I'm terrible. I'm terrible with this website. I just am. Hey, collections. Neuroshima Hex. No. Anyway, I was looking at it the other day, and it's really cheap, so you can get it done. Hey, thanks, Vader. I'm glad you like it. Again, I'm going to be here Mondays and Tuesdays, so yeah, $4 a piece if you get the bundle, and that's definitely worth it. Man, I love having all those different ones. That's right, Superboard Sunday said that. I love having all those different factions, you know. And I took mine and I divided it up like so, like this. I just put some foam core in there and just made like a little tic-tac-toe thing. and fit them all in there. So it's pretty cool. I take the box and I cut them to where I can fit it in there. That's the edge right there. And I just fit that front in that bag, and then I put everything inside there, and it holds it really well. So, and then all that fits in. It's like it was made for it. So anyway, lots and lots of factions, lots and lots of fun. So I'll be back. Awesome. Y'all be good. Had a good time today. I'll see you next week. Where are we? We have to hit something. Yeah. See you guys.